Alright, it's day number 65 of my talk in front of the camera, trying to enhance my ability to speak English and just improve my colloquial English. And today I'm going to talk about news and media. Alright, let's get started. So, let's talk about the news. Are you interested in news? To be honest, not really. Previously, I had like an addiction. Every morning when I wake up, pick up my phone and open some uh, news channels or open YouTube and watch some videos about news. And I really liked that. It was kind of my routine, but I get rid of this shit because it don't make any sense at all, because when you are watching news, usually their relevance is during several days or during several hours, so it makes no sense at all, and I'm trying not to read news at all. However, sometimes I open and I read them, but usually it makes no sense. Alright, how do you usually find news? As you mentioned in my last question, in my last answer, I just have some channels in YouTube when some people talk about news, about politics especially, and I like to watch those videos. And also, what else? And in Telegram, it's social media when there are a lot of different channels, and you can also check like news there. And I subscribe some of channels, so sometimes I'm checking it. All right, how do your friends get news? I guess in the same way, especially due to Telegram and due to channels from there, because there are a bunch of different channels about where greatly, they are greatly aware of different topics, and it's variety, yeah. Like, wait. There are channels with great variety of different topics about different news, about gaming, about politics, about life in specific city, I mean. And they just subscribed they are subscribed those channels and checking news also there. Alright, have you read the news this morning? No, I didn't, by the way. I didn't open anything to check some news. My morning started with some reels, not gonna lie. I opened Instagram, watched some reels, and I repeated some words, and I get up to do my morning routine. So I didn't read news today. So, do you often talk with your friends about the news? I don't think that really often, because usually the news are minor and it makes no sense. But sometimes when it's something significant, yeah, of course, I can discuss it with my friends. When we join to talk about something, I say join because we are joining in Discord. We can't see in real life because the distance between us in thousands kilometers, so we can talk only in the way of online communication. And we are joining and we are discussing some significant news if something like this happened. All right, let's go next. And part 2, describe a piece of news you recently heard or read about. You should say what the news was about, where you heard or read it, how it made you feel, and explain why you found it interesting or important. All right, probably I'm going to talk about the war that sparked between Israel and Iran. if I'm not mistaken. And I heard about it because almost everyone told about it when I opened YouTube, and I decided to watch some news in the channels that I like to use to be aware about news. And the other guy mentioned about this war. Also, I opened some Telegram channels, one Telegram channel especially, and I also checked and found this information. And to be honest, that's like terrible for you. I can't understand what's going on in nowadays world, because there are several wars between Israel and Palestine, between Ukraine and Russia, between Israel and Iran. If I'm not mistaken, it's three the most significant wars nowadays, and I don't know. That's kind of crazy. I hope it won't lead us to a third world war, and everything will be good. So I was of course disappointed because of that, because I've been waiting for 3 years when the war between Ukraine and Russia stopped, and there existed some more wars, and that's kind of crazy. I don't know. Of course, I wasn't happy at all, and that's why I don't like to read news, because I feel some uh, you know, anxiety, irritability. I feel that I'm disappointed, and I don't need this feeling. I can't change. If I can't change anything, what's the reason to be aware about this news? So that's why, even including that I'm from Ukraine, I'm trying to not read news about Ukraine, because in my case I can't change anything at all. But it makes me sad, and I don't like it. So in general, I'm trying not to read news, but the last news that I was aware about is about it's about the war. Yeah. So let's go next, and let's talk more about news consumption. I didn't know that this word exists, and the media. Alright, what the difference between reading news online and in newspapers? I don't know, is there some difference? I just don't know people who still read some news from newspapers, to be honest. The last time when I saw something like this, it was like probably 8 years ago, when my grandpa read it or something like this. But bro, that's like kind of weird though. And I don't know, there are difference that in one case you are holding the paper, in the second case you are holding your phone, and generally you are consuming the same information. So I'm not sure that someone really rely on newspapers to be aware about some news. Alright, do you think young people are interested in current affairs? Why or why not? What does it mean, current affairs? Well, alright, I got it. I don't really think so. Usually they don't care about it, because when you are kind of teenager, adolescence, you live your own life, and you don't care at all what's going on in the world generally. Of course, they know about some major news, kind of war. For example, me as a person who's living in Belgium currently, sometimes people ask me where am I come from came from, and I'm saying that I'm from Ukraine, and they, yeah, all right, I know them. Kind of, there's a war, and yeah, they know about such significant news. But generally, I don't think that they're interested in that. They have their friends, they have their some problems with studying, or some assignments that they have to execute, or they just scroll on TikTok if there's something about current news, Probably they will be aware about it, but generally I don't think so. I don't really think that the young generation is interested in the efforts, in current efforts. All right, how do fake news and misinformation affect today people? It's a really good question because, for example, in Russia, it's something terrible. They're consuming every day the content from their TV, and they really believe in stupid reasons why Russia attacked Ukraine, and they support it. That's something mind blowing, and of course, it depends on the person. If you're smart enough, you always will have some sources. For example, I never rely only on one source. If there's some information that I want to be confident about, that I want to be convinced about, I'm definitely going to check several sources and recheck this information, because I can't rely only on one source. But unfortunately, there are some people in this world who don't realize it, and even if everywhere they can see, they can hear the trust, anyway they continue to believe in some bullshit, in some nonsense, because I don't know why. Probably it's problems with their mind, something like this. But yeah, definitely fake news affect people. People believe that, and I just don't know how to say how does it affect people directly, but people's mind starts changing, getting a bit another, and that's a problem, to be honest. All right, should government regulate the news? Why or why not? I don't know. It's a really deep question, because it looks like they shouldn't do that because it's democracy and everyone has an opportunity to express his own thoughts. However, on the other hand, when there are a lot of channels, there are a lot of people who share with wrong information, with fakes, uh, it's really misleading people, and that's not really good, especially when they convince people about bad things. For example, in Russia, their news convince people that it's okay to have a war, we have to continue doing it, and there are no problems, that we are killing just residential buildings, that we are broken it every day, every night, that we are killing people, just citizens. There are no problems, there are some reasons, and they believed it. So I don't know, to be honest. I have no specific answer about it. It looks like yes, but I don't know. When the government will be regulate the news, it won't mean that they regulate only getting rid of fake news. It means that they're regulating it in the case that is convenient for them. So probably government shouldn't do that. I don't know. Alright, do you think international news is more important than local news? I don't really think so, because when you're aware what's going on locally in your city, you can be aware about some events, you can be aware about some impending problems and everything like this, and it's more important in your life than something that happened in China and about what you don't care at all. But on the other hand, when the Trump says something and it affects on crypto market, if you're working there, for example, if you're buying something, selling, of course you should observe it, and to be aware about those news, but generally, if you're talking like what's that global news? In my opinion, it's something kind when different politics says, for example, about war that is going on in Ukraine. Usually, that's word that makes no sense, and we should to trust only actions and rely only on actions, not on words. And I don't know. I just will be aware about my local news probably if it's useful for me than about international news because again, however, there could be something really important that could affect economy, potential inflation, and something like this. However, you can't prevent it, but at least you will be aware about it. You can prepare for something. And I don't know what's more important, to be honest. Both of them, sometimes important, sometimes are minor, and I don't know, a lot of questions when I don't have only one specific answer. So that's all. I don't know, it was pretty interesting topic, to be honest. I felt really chill in answering this. I almost didn't have words that I wanted to say, but I couldn't. And I'm glad because of that. And that's all for today. So just see you tomorrow.